They have sharp claws, Aaron. Really sharp claws. It's really hard for you to be in here. It's a little torture box. Oh, cuteness. Oh, look at that. I'm hooked.
Uh-oh.
Yay.
Are you stuck?
Yeah. No, I'm not.
Go down. Go down.
Go up.
Oh, you got it.
Go up. Down. This is good. Break it. She didn't even wake. She didn't. Those two didn't even wake up. I didn't wake up. Oh, it's the banana brother. Oh, one of them was playing.
Yeah.
Are you taking a video?
Mhm.
Live?
Mhm.
Again? Oh yeah, because we never recorded the other parts, right? Oh no, no, Bandit. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that if I were you. I wouldn't do that. Why does she not trust Bandit? He's been with the puppies before. He's fine with me.
Can you hand me the laptop over there?
Laptop.
It's on the back of the couch.
Wonderful. Sorry. She's just all alone.
I know.
It's all alone.
What's she doing?
Get along good.
Oh, Lordy me.
Are you trying to show up now? Oh, you learn how to walk now? This time goes so I can get microwave popcorn.
Yeah?
So if you guys don't make popcorn, we should just make our own popcorn.
I could probably do something like that.
Sometimes you guys say you guys won't do it. Can you make popcorn today? Oh no, you don't have any more butter. Never mind. Cannot make popcorn without butter.
Bandit, Chloe, can you knock it off?
Hey, Bandit. Hey,
on, you sure did. Go lay with your puppies. Go lay with your babies.
We're going to dig into strategy and how to be a more strategic contractor as you go into 2024. I love a couple of questions that Dom drops that you should be asking yourself if you want to have more success in figuring out what your plan needs to be, how to figure out the action steps to get there and see things through to get the success you want. Don't forget to give us a damn rating and a review and share the show. Without further ado, here's my conversation with Dominic. Hey, the fastest way to make more money in your business is to raise your gross profit. That's why I want you to go grab our 50% profit tool for you. It's free. Just go to the link below and grab it. And on your very next project, you will make more money if you do what we tell you to do on there. You'll be just like the other tens of thousands of other contractors who are using this tool right now to change their financial future. Grab it now. Let's go. Mr. Dominic Rubino. That's such a cool name.
Thank you. Yeah.
Did they call you like growing up Dommy?
Yeah. Dommy.
Dommy. What do your best friends call you? Dominic, Dommy, or Dom?
Dom. They call me Dom.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. When they're trying to be funny, they call me the D, Big D.
Big D. Yeah.
Yeah.
You take that any way you want, right? So,
That's right.
well, dude, it's good to finally make this happen. We had this scheduled, we had technical issues, and now we made it happen a few weeks later. All is well in the universe, I think. And I know we've had an eye on each other for a few years.
Yeah.
And finally just made this happen. And I have to tell you, man, it's cool when we've never met in person. We've had, including me being on your show, the last time we tried to do this and the first time we talked, this is probably our fourth or fifth time having a conversation. And what's funny is, in some ways, I feel like we could finish each other's sentences. So
Yeah.
it's kind of funny. It's very rare when that happens. So I enjoy shooting the breeze with you.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
So for those who don't know, who are you? What do you do?
I sometimes ask the same question. I wake up in the morning with that. Well, but to be serious, and I like to joke a little too much. So I host a podcast as well. And the reason I do that, though, is I love working in construction and contracting. I'm a business coach. And I show people how to take their contracting business and make it what they want it to be. Whether they want more time, more money, better systems, just get the stress out of their lives.
Welcome, my furry friends, to the Contractor Sales Academy podcast. Steve, Derek, what's up?
I have a question for you, Tom.
Uh-oh.
How do you know they're all furry?
No, I'm just making an assumption. I
I'm
don't
just thinking, I need to show you things. Man, that makes it for me.
I don't know. Well, Steve, you're sitting there with a pair of scissors right now, like somebody needs a haircut. So,
I do a haircut. I've always been married, and my son's been doing it since the whole COVID thing started, but I may break down and go to a barber.
there you go.
Because, you know, when it comes to cutting my hair, I got 2 tools in my toolbox. My son and a barber.
Is that enough tools, Steve? I don't know if that's enough tool. That sounds like a small toolbox.
But that's a good segue into our topic for today.
I know, you didn't just throw me a softball, it was like a beach ball, and I had a big pop with that.
Right. Boom. So what are we talking about today?
Man, we're talking about how you gotta have an arsenal of tools, man. You gotta, now you don't need think of a real toolbox, you don't use a hand. Steve, what's up, man?
How you doing, Tom?
I am living the dream. You and I today, it looks like Derek may or may not jump on. He's caught up with a couple things, because that's how life happens. But I know you got a crazy few weeks here with travel and things like that. You're going away soon again, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm going on a dance cruise.
Uh-oh.
I know, I'm scared. I've never been on one of these things, but, I just, every so often I like to throw myself, went on a yoga retreat. And I only did yoga 6 times in my whole life, and I went on a 7-day retreat with 6 people in this entire yoga camp. And on a mountaintop in Maui, and that was fantastic, scary at first, but it's all good.
Well, that's cool, man. Well, it's good to catch up here today. So we're going to lay out a situation here today because this can be kind of common. This is also right up your alley from your former swimming pool contractor days. And so we got a message from a guy in one of our groups in our sales academy, and he said, so I'm going to lay out the scenario here for everybody, and then I'd love for you and I to just talk about how you might handle this, because I know it's pretty common once guys start getting their heads right, they start changing the way they're approaching their sales game, they run into this issue. So it says, hey, I built this swimming pool equipment pad for a GC building a pool. This is the second one I've done for this GC. The first one, I didn't know my numbers, and I only charged $1,125. It was $1,000 in labor, $125 in miscellaneous materials. He bought all the other equipment. When I finished with that, he asked me to come over and look at another pool in this building, probably because it was such a great price, right? And that was about 4 months ago. Now I have a better grasp on my numbers and getting a 50% gross profit, like we was talking about here. I made a big mistake and never talked about my price to install either set. I just finished the install of the second pool pad and met with the GC. I got approval that he liked the work, so I brought up the numbers. I should have been closer to 6,000 if I added the correct markup of equipment, blah, 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 blah. I threw out 6K and he was not happy. He said others charged closer to 2K for what I did. And we settled on 2,500. But at one point, he seemed like he was going to throw me off the site and never work with me again. That's still a possibility. He was polite and collected, but clearly frustrated. How do I show my value when I'm 3 times everyone else's price? I feel like I'm doing something wrong to be that much higher. So, you ever run into that?
Oh, man. Many a time, how I deal with it now and how I dealt with it then are 2 different things. So here's what's happening in his head and what used to happen in my head. If I'm that guy bidding the work, is I'm afraid to be totally honest with the guy. I'm afraid because if I'm totally honest, he will throw me off the site. But now I'm trying to, let me just tell a story. In my fast forward 20 years when I had a pond company, and I used to charge $350 to clean a pond. I did that for a couple of years, and so one winter I was bored, and I actually went through all my numbers and calculated that it cost me, like, I used to do it myself, but it cost me like $250 to clean a pond. And I'm like, That's cleaning out a lot of crap. For $100, that ain't worth it for me.
Right.
So the very next year, I raised my prices from $350 to $650. Now that's a hefty, that's a 100% jump, right? Almost. And I sent it out to all my people, contracts, and that's when I first came up with, well, then if they prepay it, I'll give them 10% back.
Mm-hmm.
So now they're not paying $650, they're paying $580 or whatever it is. So it wouldn't sound so bad to them. And like 80% of the people just sent me the money back. Never questioned me, nothing. I never sent a letter of explanation. I simply changed the number. Well, 20% of the people called me up. I'm sorry, 10% of the people called me up. 10% of the people just dropped me.
Yeah.
But the 10% of the people that called me up, Steve, you doubled your prices. What's up with that? And I just said, you know, I finally sat down and did the math and realized I was making no money. I said, I want to stay in business, not just for me, but I want to stay in business for you. So I understand if you don't want to go with me, but I hope you stay. And 90% of the people stayed. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying I didn't have to go. You know what? How about if this year we split the difference? And next year, I'm just telling you, it's going to go full price. And almost all those people stayed. But I let myself be vulnerable and tell them the truth. And when you do that, more times than not, you'll get what you want. But this guy would tell him, I screwed up. Which he did. He kind of said, I screwed up. But then he's got to go, you know, I did a good job because you asked me to come back. So did you ask me to come back only because I mispriced myself? Or did you ask me to come back because I did a good job for you? So I want $6,000. You want to pay $2,500. But you also, I know you want good people on your site. You don't want any problems. You want good people. And I'd like to be that good person. So for the next one out of the block, you tell me, do you want me? And you tell me the price, now that you know openly where I can be and where you want to pay me.
Yeah.
And then after that, I'm going to price it the way I got to price it to stay in business. And I'm going to stay in business not just for me, but for you. Is that a fair solution?
And then shut your mouth.
And then shut your mouth.
Yep.
And what will happen is he'll try to save you. Oh, no, that's okay. You know, you really did a good job. You really did do it because I wouldn't call you back. And, you know, I got $3,000 in the budget. I could do $3,000.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll just do $3,000. And then just call me the next time and we'll have another conversation. If I can did the job, great. If I'm way out of line, then I know I'm way out of line. And that's how I would approach it.
Yeah. You know, and I think you said it at the top, most of the time we're fearful to have an honest conversation with somebody. It's that simple. We're afraid that we'll lose the client. But here's the thing with this guy, with me, when I used to do a lot of builder work and GC work and things like that, you're actually better off not getting the job than you are spending a bunch of time jumping through hoops to make next to no money. And so you got to pick your pain here. Would you rather have the pain of doing cheap work and all that other crap that comes with it, or the pain of just going, hey, thanks for the opportunity. It was good while it lasted. Good luck to you in the future. See you later. And so what we have here is a guy who's actually waking up. He's been part of our community for a while. He's starting to learn his numbers. He's starting to look like you did that one winter that you were bored. You start doing the math. You're like, shit, I ain't making no money. And so that's what this contractor's doing, which is great. Now, I want to address some things. He said, what am I doing wrong? How do I show my value on 3 times everyone else? Blah, blah, blah. And I feel like I'm doing something wrong to be that much higher. So that's what I want to address here is it very might be true. I haven't spoken personally to this guy yet. That his fighters today on Contractor Fight TV. That's pretty cool. Anyway, I am going to share with you why Craftsmanship
does not sell jobs. Now, before you send me a bunch of hate mail, watch the video. Let's go. Yeah, I said it. Your quality work does not sell jobs. And some of you people right now are like getting your little thumbs out on your devices, and you're gonna be little keyboard warriors, and you know what you're gonna do? You're gonna send me a thing that says, hey, I just watched the Craftsmanship project fucking video, and Tom, you're a fucking dick. You don't know what you're talking about. Fuck you. Literally, that's what you're gonna send me. But before you do that, hear me out. Okay? Now, what I'm not saying that craftsmanship doesn't matter. Of course, you gotta do great work. Okay? Of course, the quality of work matters. I get that it matters, but it is not the thing that's gonna sell projects. Okay? Here's why. As a consumer, when you hire a professional for something, you expect the quality to be kick-ass. Okay, so that's a given. When somebody calls you as a painting contractor, remodeler, you know, a fixer of a toilet, what do they call those guys? Plumber. Yeah, here you go, plumber. All right. Whatever you do for your trade, people expect you to do a good job, and the shit will work. It'll look right. It'll function right, and all that other stuff. And so many contractors, you keep banging the drum, boom, boom, boom. You know, craftsmanship. Our work sells itself. Oh, fuck off. All right, so here's 3 things I'm going to share with you today, all right, to help you close more jobs at the right price, okay? Hey, in case, who else whispers that's really creepy? I'll let you all decide. Anyway, in case you're wondering, I believe craftsmanship is important, okay? I want to say it again, okay? I can't say it enough in this video because some of you can't get past that. All right? Like you're all playing with yourselves about the nap of the roller cover and the fucking how many teeth are on your saw blade, and you have zero clue how to connect with a prospect and sell your shit, so you never get to show as many people as you would like to how great your work is. Like seriously, that is a bad thing. That is a bad thing. Your work is amazing, and it's a travesty. That's a word I haven't used in a while. It's a travesty that more people aren't hiring your ass. Okay? And they're hiring somebody who's actually a better salesperson, knows how to connect with prospects and market better and all those things, but their quality is probably less than yours. It happens all the time. All right? So let's do this. Okay? Let's do a handshake here. You got your skills when it comes to your craft. I got some skills I'm going to teach you here in Contractor Fight Land, all right, about how to level up those skills as a salesperson, as a communicator. All right. So now your sales skills will be on par with your craftsmanship skills. All right. All right. I've already said too much shit and set the expectation here. All right. Anyway, 3 things that I guarantee you will help you close more jobs at the right price. Number 1, you have to peel back somebody's motive. Why do they want to do the job? Okay? Why do they want to do the job? When I paint my house, I don't want to paint my house. I want what painting my house will give me. Does that make sense? It's pride. I don't want to be embarrassed. Whatever, you fill in the blank. People buy for 1 of 2 reasons. Pain, ouch, pleasure, ooh. All right? That's it. Pain and pleasure. Why do they want to do the job? What's important to them? Talk about past experience. Ask questions. Peel back things. I just said peel back their motive. When you dig into their motive, they feel heard. They feel understood. And guess what? That's an unfair advantage that you now have over all the other fuckers that are going in there and go, we use blah, blah, blah tools, and we're amazing, and we have great quality, and we won this quality award. Oh, fuck them too, right? All right, do you want to kick their asses and feed your family, or do you want to fucking play games and maybe feed your family and allow the other people to feed their family before your family? Did any of that make sense? I sound like Kamala. All right, anyway, so back to the point here, my friends. Peel back their motive. Dig into their reasons for buying, because their reasons are most often different than your reasons. Okay? It's that simple. And you do that by asking questions. And then we go to step number 2. How to sell your work at higher profits. How to close more sales at your right price. Peel back the motive. Then number 2, STFU. Shut your damn mouth. Stop telling me about your company. Stop telling me about how many years of experience you have. Stop telling me that you don't subcontract your work, or that you do, or whatever. All right, guys, you are talking yourselves out of more sales than you're winning. Okay? You are not going to talk yourself into a sale. I'm just telling you that right now. Ask me how I know, because I was really good at running my mouth and talking myself out of sales for many years. When I peeled back their motive, really understood their reasons for buying, and then I shut my damn mouth after I asked a question, and then guess what? They're going to give me an answer. And then guess what? I hate when people do that. Guess what? Guess what? All right, but I just did it. So fuck me. All right? They're going to give you an answer. And when they give you an answer, you peel it back again and ask another question. So let's role play with myself here. All right? Ooh. So Tom, how long have you been thinking about doing this project? Well, I've known for about 3 years now that we got to do this when Johnny graduates high school, so we're ready to do it. Here's what not to do. Well, we could get you on the schedule right away, and we always honor our commitments and our deadlines, and we never, ever break a promise when it comes to time.
We'll buy your house for cash, no matter the condition. Stuck with a property that feels more like a burden, whether it's outdated.
Hey, we've been knowing we got to do this for about 3 years when Tommy, Johnny, whatever name I said, has to graduate school, whatever I said there, because I have a short memory. All right, and now we're ready to do it. So you said that you've been thinking about doing this for a long time. What kind of research have you done on this project? That's peeling it back and shut your fucking mouth. They're like, well, I hadn't really done a research about my brother-in-law. You know, he's a contractor, and he told me that I got to do it this way, and blah, blah, blah. So these are the things that are really important to me, and this is how I want it done. And so just out of curiosity, why haven't you hired your brother-in-law to do the project? Guys, this is the dialogue. Some of you are looking at this going, that's fucking weird. It's not weird. You know what this is? This is a bag of money. Okay? When you shut your fucking mouth, you're going to have, like, you'd be dragging your bags of money, all right, to the bank, all right? But some of you can't get out of your own way, and you're talking too damn much. You're talking yourselves out of sales. So number 1, peel back their motive. Number 2, shut your damn mouth. Number 3, bring good energy. Bring enthusiasm. Okay? Enthusiasm is contagious. People want to work with people that have passion. They want to work with people that give a shit. When I say bring energy, I don't mean you got to be bouncing off the walls and all this other bullshit, all right? I'm talking about eye contact, body language. You're excited. Whether you're on the phone, you can tell if you're smiling or not. Bring a positive vibe to what you're doing. That is contagious. Share that you're excited.
Welcome back and alive now from Fox. I'm Austin.
Knock knock. Hi there. I'd love to show you what a K-12 powered school is really like. Step.
Welcome back and alive now from Fox. I'm Austin Westfall. The Department of Homeland Security's Inspector General has opened an investigation into the Secret Service's handling of the security for former President Trump's rally that was held in Pennsylvania that resulted in an assassination attempt over the weekend. The agency says the objective of the probe is to evaluate the Secret Service's process for securing the campaign events, and it joins a long list of ongoing cases that the Inspector General's office is already pursuing. President Biden had already directed an independent review of the security at the rally. Lots of questions do remain surrounding how the 20-year-old shooter managed to climb on top of a building and open fire. National security analyst Hal Kemper joins us to break this down. As always, Hal, thanks for coming on and helping us understand some of what we've been hearing. And there has been a lot coming out. I'm going to start with this from Jackie Heinrich. Senators held a half-hour conference call Wednesday with Secret Service Director Kimberly Cheadle and FBI Director Christopher Wray, and some new information did come from that meeting. Fox has learned that the senators were told that the shooter wrote on the gaming platform Steam that, quote, July 13th will be my premiere. Watch as it unfolds, unquote. When investigators further reviewed the laptop, they found a few searches in July of Trump, Biden, when is DNC convention, and July 13th Trump rally. Okay, so we're finally starting to hear a little bit about that digital footprint that you and I have been talking so much about. What do you make of the latest developments?
Austin, I wasn't surprised, in fact, that they went to a gaming platform. I think you're going to find more there. I think we're going to hear more about that. You may recall Jack Teixeira, that airman who released all that classified information, just a horrible breach of national security. Well, he was very active on a gaming platform, and of course, gaming platforms are extremely popular, and very, very popular with teens, people in their early 20s. That's where they spend a lot of time. It's where they socialize. It's where they communicate. And it may be, as they dig into this, where we find the connections or maybe the motivation, if you will, that led him to do whatever he was doing. Clearly, more is coming out that he was a very troubled individual. He had a lot of problems, emotional problems, among other things. But that doesn't normally drive someone to do something quite this heinous. Usually there's something else, and usually there's others who are kind of ramping them up in this direction. So the gaming platform thing, I think, was absolutely crucial in finding that he was bragging about doing something. And I'm thinking there was probably some other communication that went back to him that may have been part of what got him to that point. So we're finding out more about that.
So, some more reporting that came out of that meeting earlier today. The New York Post reports that 10 minutes before Trump took the stage, the Secret Service was warned about the shooter and designated him as a threat. The Post also says that the agency was warned that there was a character of suspicion on the grounds more than an hour before the shooting. Hal, you're no stranger to security operations like this. When you try to put yourself in the officer's shoes that day, what could possibly lead to the type of behavior we're talking about here? Behavior that, to many Americans, seems so careless.
Well, there's obviously a failure in on-site threat assessment, if you will. There were those who saw stuff and they immediately identified as suspicious, or identified him as suspicious. They saw activity they identified as suspicious. But there's a command and control problem that took place on site. If you look at the timeline, there were reports out that they had identified him as acting suspiciously and were looking for him for about an hour before this thing. And they lost sight of him, didn't know where he was. Obviously, he was maneuvering around trying to do stuff, but he actually walked up to the magnetometers and he had a rangefinder. It's not a weapon, but a rangefinder is something that you use to figure out, as it sounds, the range. It's something that a sniper or a shooter would use to figure out range. They thought that was very strange. They reportedly, they had pictures, and then he disappeared. And then he eventually made his way up to that roof, got up there, and the first time they spotted him, apparently he had the rangefinder in his hand. And if you're doing long rifle shooting, that's probably because you're adjusting your weapon, your sights, or your optics for the particular range you're going to be shooting on. Now, if you look at how the shot itself, it was a fairly precise shot. I watched slow motion of Donald Trump's head turning, and frankly, that was just pure luck that he happened to turn his head ever so slightly right before the round went off, and it clipped, grazed his ear. If he had been turned, if he was where he was just a split second before, that round would have gone, basically into the back of his skull. So he basically, it was something where even if he was a poor shot, and of course there's rumors or there's stories that when he was in high school couldn't make the shooting team, all that aside, there was that was one of those things where he was actually very well prepared for employing that type of a weapon and what he was doing. But it is absolutely, you look at the timeline, you go, why didn't they get, and I've been to major events where something comes up in the crowd, there's something suspicious, and they'll take the performer or they'll take the whoever it is on stage, and they will say, "1 second, we're trying to resolve something," and they will take them off the podium, put them someplace off to the side until the danger or whatever it is subsides. There's a lot of questions as why didn't the Secret Service do that? Why didn't they notify them there was a suspicious individual out there? Why didn't they take normal precautions one would take, certainly with a musical act or something like that, if there was even something like that going? Why didn't they do that? It's very confusing. I think there may have been some communications problems with the radios, but of course, you know, the big problem they have is that building was essentially unsecured. The law enforcement was supposed to be there, weren't there, and he got up on the roof.
Does it appear to you that shortcuts were taken that day?
You know, that was my sense. Look, when you're running a big event like that, working security for it, you got a lot of things going on. You have various different layers of stuff. My sense is there was a planning problem, a coordination problem, and a supervision problem. It's one thing to hand off a zone to another law enforcement agency. In this case, they did to the local Butler Police Department. Butler Police Department, as I understand it, has 12 total officers. That's it. Butler Police Department, before the event started, said, "Look, we don't have enough officers to cover that building." They told Secret Service that. Secret Service knew it, and Secret Service didn't do anything. And here's the reality of a lot of these things. When you find these failures, after they get through doing the forensics on this event, somebody, maybe DHS, Office of Inspector General, needs to go back and look at previous events. I am skeptical that this was a one-off. I think what happened was they had been taking shortcuts at previous events and getting away with it. And when it comes to security, or it comes to emergency preparedness across the board, but certainly with security, shortcuts in security work until they suddenly don't. You know, you can get away with it for a while. Eventually someone discovers the gap in your security posture and they exploit it. And then all of a sudden, in a very dramatic fashion, everything you did failed. And that's what the Secret Service is dealing with now. And it would kind of make me want to look at everything the Secret Service is protecting at this point. I would probably, when I get done with all this, if I was inspecting this or investigating this, I would start looking at the White House. I'd start looking at Camp David. I'd be looking everywhere. I'd be looking at the procedures around Air Force One, for that matter, because this was a glaring gap that tells me there's a command and control, there's a planning problem, there's a coordination problem with outside agencies going on with Secret Service that they need to address.
I know you've been following this Iran situation. Iran has rejected accusations regarding plots to assassinate former President Trump. The state-run IRNA news agency reported on Wednesday. The news came out yesterday that a threat on Trump's life from Iran prompted additional security in the days before Saturday's campaign rally, but it was unrelated to the assassination attempt. Hal, your takeaways from the Iran angle to this?
I think it'll be interesting to see what comes of this. This is new, but it's not new. Obviously, the story broke about this specific threat with Iran and former President Trump literally Tuesday morning. I think it was when it broke, and so everybody was tracking this. Although, if you want to go back to earlier in June, there was a 60-minute.
That is a large engine. That's crazy.
What a piece of junk.
Like,
One of these boxes has got to have a go-kart in it. This thing is awesome.
today's video is sponsored by Connect Team.
What's up, everybody? I'm John. I'm Isaac. Today on Cars and Cameras, we're doing a little bit of a science experiment. We bought the cheapest 10 horsepower diesel engine on Temu to check it out and put it on a go-kart and see how its performance is for the value. So we're going to be installing this 10 horsepower engine on the brand new Bolt cart from Go Power Sports and Build, Break, Repeat. If it will fit, it looks absolutely massive.
it's very heavy. We paid $415 for this 10 horsepower diesel engine, and we thought we would pick it up to see kind of where it stacks up against some of the other go-kart engines on the market. Predictions, I think it's going to perform terribly for a 10 horsepower engine. I think it's going to have the cool factor though.
This thing is massive and heavy. So I'm going to wind up cutting across the bottom of the box and try to lift the light part off the engine rather than lifting the engine out of the box.
Alrighty.
It's a box in the box.
Alright, that's kind of a nice crate though.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It's not bad.
Oh, it's got handles. Cool.
We've installed a diesel engine on a go-kart before. I think it was an 8 horsepower, and it was from eBay. And the build quality was horrible. Yeah, the flywheel had air pockets in the casting. It was extremely dangerous looking. Yeah, we had someone offer to build us a flywheel. All we had to do is ship them the old flywheel, and then we didn't really hear much from them ever again.
Yeah, we shipped them flywheel and never got it back.
So that's why we're buying a whole other engine to revisit the potential of a turbo diesel go-kart. But for now, we're just going to get impressions of this one.
In there.
That is a large engine.
The air filter is not on it and it's damaged.
No.
It's been squished.
Yeah. I thought there would be a lot more packaging than that. The engine is about the size of the crate.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
I'm gonna have to, I guess, just manhandle this engine out of the box, I reckon. This is gonna fit.
Wow.
There it is. Thing is massive.
It's pushing 100 pounds.
Dude, this thing's like 95 pounds.
So it weighs as much as a Predator 670.
I think it's heavier than 670.
I mean, but this has a fuel tank and a 670 doesn't. I mean, I would put this in a 670 class of engine for holy cow. There's about $400 worth of bolts in that side cover, dude.
The exhaust is the muffler is right at your back.
We're gonna figure it out.
We're gonna have to.
We haven't put together the go-kart yet. We don't know that.
No, I know it. Here's the crankshaft. Here's the drive wheel. This is your seat.
It's fine. You're overthinking it.
Am I?
So you think the 3 horsepower engine, gas engine, the bolt cart comes with is gonna outperform this thing? There's no way.
Dude, I'm telling you.
Look how big it is.
Yeah, that's exactly why it's going to outperform it. It's 100 pounds lighter, basically, 75 pounds lighter. It's going to turn more RPMs than this, so it's going to have a higher top speed.
We'll gear it.
Wait a minute. Remember how the Dingo does. You don't have to hit the brakes. You just carry the speed through the corners and stuff.
Yeah.
That's what we got to do. And it's going to outperform this thing.
So this definitely wasn't designed for a go-kart or power sports equipment. It was designed for like a generator,
Yeah.
like equipment.
Yes.
So to be fair, we're not using it what it's supposed to be used for, but wouldn't be the first time.
It's massive.
I gotta say, the webbing on the casting's cool. I don't know if it's any good, but it sure looks cool.
Yeah.
We have a metal gasket for the side cover.
That's cool.
Pretty neat. And about 1,300 bolts in the side cover.
So, I wonder if we're going to be able to make this thing roll some coal.
We have a lot of moving parts here at Cars and Cameras, and I'm not just talking about them.
I'll do it again. The Honda Civic behind me is next level awesome.
it's a hybrid. It's dynamic with a 200 horsepower hybrid powertrain. It's the most powerful and acidic sedan ever.
Sheer number of victims is extraordinary. Who was the investigator?
I'm not going to talk about that.
It was a midnight order. We solved unsolved crimes.
I love being here at Stagecoach with